Cuba has about 2 weeks of oil left, maybe less, and I need you all to understand what that actually means. Cuba is about to become the next Gaza. In the last month alone, the US seized 5 oil tankers heading to Cuba. This is the largest naval deployment in the Caribbean since the Cuban Missile Crisis. They've got drones tracking Mexican tankers. And Trump signed an executive order threatening any country on earth that sells Cuba oil with tariffs. Mexico looked at $400 billion in trade exposure to the US and immediately stopped shipments. Venezuela's supply got destroyed by force, so now Cubans are experiencing 20-hour daily blackouts. Hospitals are running on generators that are about to run out of diesel. And Marco Rubio literally testified to Congress that regime change is the objective. Trump said, quote, "I think it's just going to fall." They're not even hiding it anymore. But here's the thing, this has been happening for decades. Every year at the UN, 187 nations vote to condemn the US embargo on Cuba, 33 consecutive years, the most lopsided vote in UN history. It's just the US and obviously Israel voting no. And every single year, every country that votes against the embargo lets their banks enforce it anyway. Why? Because 88% of all global foreign exchange transactions touch the US dollar because one country controls the pipes through which the world's money moves. And the US has fined foreign banks, BNP Paribas, HSBC, Societe Generale, banks from countries that oppose the embargo, over $13 billion in fines for processing Cuba-related payments. So most banks just refuse all Cuba operations now. 69% of necessary medicines are unavailable in Cuba, not scarce or not expensive, literally banned from entering the country. This is the same Cuban government that offered to send 1,500 doctors to help Americans after Hurricane Katrina. The Bush administration said no. During COVID, Cuba exported doctors across Latin America, whilst richer nations hoarded vaccines. They're literally renowned worldwide for training medical personnel and sending them to places like Palestine. Cuba has literacy rates that shame the US, and that's why the US would rather see Cuba become a concentration camp than succeed, because if Cuba thrives, it proves there is an alternative, that capitalism and imperialism and endless exploitation aren't inevitable. The Cuban government is now calling this what it is, a genocidal blockade. They're preparing emergency measures to try to keep people in nursing homes and hospitals alive, rationing plans for millions. And this is literally life or death struggle for 11 million people. So if Cuba falls, it won't be because socialism doesn't work. It will be because the largest empire in human history, run by PDFs, spent 6 decades and trillions of dollars making sure it couldn't. Remember that when you see the headlines about failed states and economic collapse. This siege is the story. Everything else is just the obituary they are writing in advance.
Max Egan once said, "If people don't wake up to the truth of what's going on, the way of Gaza will be the way of the world." I don't know what's going on, y'all, but it seems we're being distracted left and right and center from the real shit that's happening behind the scenes. This is an insane development story that I'm just bringing to your attention. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.